Ah, the unicorn. The mythical bike that can do it all and do it well. Cruise on the highway in comfort, rip up a twisty road, hit the gravel, bomb a fire road, crawl over rocks, and rip single track. And my own Tenere 700 comes close to that ideal. It's a tremendous bike and has honestly changed the world of adventure motorcycling for the better. Before this bike came out, the trend was leaning toward bigger, heavier, more powerful, and more technologically advanced motorcycles that were also getting more expensive. Consider the fact that today's BMW F850 GS is the same size and power as the R1200 GS from just a few years ago, and you'll see the problem. So when Yamaha came out with the Tenere 700, the adventure world rejoiced in the fact that they bucked the trend. Lighter, less powerful, with none of the fancy electronics of its bigger competitors, it still managed to be fun on pavement while being more capable off it than any bike in its class save the much more expensive KTM 790 or 890 Adventure R. And sales reflect that reality. Teneres are selling fast, the aftermarket is booming, and there seems to be no manufacturer either willing or able to challenge this already legendary bike. Yes, Aprilia is touting its new Touareg 660 as a Tenere fighter, but given the fact that it likely will be loaded with electronics and more exotic components, don't expect it to stray anywhere near the Tenere's price. Price-wise, it will likely come in closer to the KTM 890 Adventure. However, as good as the Tenere is, and as fun as it is to watch professional trials riders do amazing things on it on Instagram, I must admit that on technical terrain it is a handful. I love ripping around on it off-road, but it's tall and top-heavy. In fact, it's a bit heavy in general for serious off-roading, by us mere mortals anyways. I'd trade 30 of those ponies in order to drop another, say, 120 pounds of weight but still retain the range and weather protection of the Tenere. Honda has the CRF450L Rally, which we also own, but its 27 horsepower is too low and its suspension is too low spec to be the unicorn. Adventurers need a bike with more power, and a concept of that bike has existed now for 3 years. But Honda, the 800-pound gorilla of motorcycle manufacturers and a motorcycle company certainly capable of delivering such a bike, has been sitting on it rather than bringing it to market. It has been 3 years since the CRF450L Rally concept debuted at EICMA and got adventure riders giddy as little schoolgirls. Well, 3 years have passed. Honda has broken KTM's stranglehold on the Dakar Rally with its CRF450 Rally race bike, and this still has not translated to the street-going version everyone wants to see, though I keep hearing rumblings that it's in the works. So let's take a look at this amazing machine, break down what Honda would need to do to make it successful, and hope that the reaction to this video convinces the folks at Honda Corporate to bring this bike to showrooms soon. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please support the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and hitting the notification bell. Let's go! Alright, a little history. Winning the motorcycle portion of the Dakar Rally is big for a motorcycle manufacturer. As big as winning the Tour de France is for a bicycle builder. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday is not just a mantra. It's a cold hard reality in the cutthroat world of motorcycle sales. And the cold hard fact is that KTM had won 18 straight of these, until Honda broke their stranglehold in 2020 and won another in 2021 on a bike called the CRF450 Rally. Now before any of this happened, Honda had a bike called the CRF450L, based on its 450R race bike. This is Honda's answer to the KTM 500 EXC and Husqvarna 501. These are high-performance, short service interval, street-legal enduros meant mostly to ride dirt and occasionally get you down a paved road to the next trail. But of course, as soon as riders got their hands on them, they started turning them into rally race bikes with various mods and kits. And so in 2018, Honda introduced this wild concept CRF450L Rally at EICMA. This is a CRF450L with 20-liter dual tanks and a fairing with a nav tower. Presumably it would have the 450L's 45-ish horsepower and be feather light. Yes, it wouldn't weigh the 291 pounds of the Enduro version, but even with a much larger tank, fairing, armor, and beefed up suspension and brakes, a sub 330 pound wet weight is achievable. Now all this obviously got adventure and enduro riders pretty excited about this near perfect off-road capable adventure bike. But it's not as simple as slapping a fairing and bigger tank on the CRF450L and adding rally to the name. You see, the CRF450L is based on the CRF450R, which is a high-performance race machine. And like any race machine, it's built to be light and powerful, not convenient. You have to change the oil and filter every 1,000 kilometers and perform valve checks every 3,000 K. Fine for an enduro you put on your truck to take to the trails, not cool if you're touring across the continent. Can you imagine having to change oil and filter every other day? Not for me. So any rally version will have to carry way more oil and have a less labor-intensive engine. It will also need beefed up suspension and brakes because it will be heavier and will have to be able to carry luggage and camping gear, possibly even a passenger. Finally, there's the issue of price. The current CRF450RL costs $10,000 US and $12,300 Canadian. That's the same price as the Tenere 700, and presumably a rally version would cost more because it would have more equipment. Now, the tendency of many riders is to expect bigger motorcycles to cost more. But in the world of off-roading, light is right, so a 330-pound motorcycle with serious off-road cred should be more expensive than a 450-pound one. And that brings us to value. A CRF450L Rally is likely to cost $1,000+ more than the standard L, possibly quite a bit more than that. It should put down 40 to 42 horsepower, a few less than the L because the engine will need to be toned down to accommodate 5,000 to 6,000 kilometer service intervals. It should tip the scale somewhere between 320 and 340 pounds. It should have the excellent suspension of the L, adjusted to handle the extra weight of an adventure touring bike, cool 20-liter dual tanks, 12 inches of suspension travel, a 37.5-inch seat height. Ah yeah, you see the problem. The more off-road capable you make this bike, the less accessible to the average rider it will be. If you make it excellent, it will be expensive and tall, and few will be able to use it to its potential. If you make it softer like the 300L Rally, the hardcores will complain that it's not capable enough. You can't please everyone, and Honda has traditionally leaned toward making its bikes appealing to the masses. And this is where I would put in my 2 cents and urge Honda to keep it simple. If Honda needs to drop the suspension by an inch to keep the seat height from chasing off everyone but NBA centers, do it. 40 horsepower would be fine. Honda doesn't need all of those trick motocross components in the engine. The nav tower, scrap it. The CRF300L Rally's display is enough, and riders can add their own nav like we did with ours. And price, max $11,000 US. A bike like this would be the only one capable of making me question my devotion to my Tenere. When it comes to off-road motorcycles, 100 less pounds has a way of making a man step out. So with this video, I'm asking Honda to finally give us this unicorn. No need to go all out with tech and price, just a more capable CRF300L Rally with 40 horses and adjustable suspension is what riders want. This would be as close to a Dakar race bike for the street as has ever been produced by a major manufacturer. Hopefully Honda is working on this bike behind the scenes, and the delay is just due to them trying to iron out the wrinkles and get it right, like Yamaha did with the T7. If you would like to see this bike become reality, please make it known in the comments. Would you pay a lot for the high-tech or opt for a more reasonably priced option that's softer but still quite capable? Personally, I'd go for option B, as I wouldn't use it for jumping dunes, just exploring inaccessible trails and taking the highway home. Honda needs to build this bike before KTM beats them to it with a 490 Adventure Twin. Come on Honda, stop teasing us and make it happen. Thanks for watching and ride safe.
If you're interested in any of the gear that Brooke and I wear or use, or the camera equipment we use to film this channel, the links are below. Everything listed there was bought with our own money and we are not sponsored by any company. However, the links below are affiliate links and the channel is paid a small amount for referring you to shop at no additional cost to you. We do not recommend any products that we are not satisfied with ourselves, but we do strongly urge you to do your research and select the correct size for items like helmets and clothing. As always, thanks for watching, your support is greatly appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And whatever you ride, enjoy it. Wave at other bikers no matter what they're riding. We're all part of a brotherhood and sisterhood. Keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, and may the spokes be with you.